Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm going to begin by thanking Michael Elbert for being our sign language interpreter. I want to welcome our commissioners, Commissioner Bridget Gainer, Commissioner Brandon Johnson, and Commissioner Donna Miller, as well as our guests from Morton Grove, Bill Greer, who's a trustee, and Tom Friel, who is Assistant Village Administrator. I think I got that right? Plus, who else am I missing? John Yonan, Clayton Harris, the third Executive Director of the Port District.
I'm Silvestri, Chairman of the Board of the Port.
Thank you. One more time with your name?
Ivan Solis.
Ivan Solis, Chairman of the Board of the Port District. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. This press conference is about our Invest in Cook transportation projects. And I want to especially thank John Yonan, our superintendent of the county's Department of Transportation and Highways, and his team for their work to make Invest in Cook a reality. And I want to thank Clayton Harris, Executive Director of the Illinois International Port District, and an adjunct professor at the University of Chicago, which is where I came to know him, and Invest in Cook recipient for sharing with us the impact this grant has on the port. One of the vital roles of Cook County government is to ensure that we support a robust transportation infrastructure. It benefits our business community and enhances the quality of life and economic opportunities for our residents. That's why we're here today to announce the recipients of the fourth round of Invest in Cook grants. Invest in Cook was created in 2017 by John Yonan and his team as a way for the county to implement the priorities of Connecting Cook County, our long-range transportation plan. Connecting Cook County calls for Cook County's government to address all the transportation needs of its residents and businesses: transit, bicycle, pedestrian, and freight, not simply the roads and bridges that had previously been our sole focus. Our transportation network is extensive and one of the greatest strengths of our county, but its foundations are beginning to erode. The fact that less than 5% of the roadways and an even smaller part of the broader transportation system is under Cook County jurisdiction led to the realization that Cook County government must look beyond our own infrastructure to provide people and companies with the transportation services they expect. This year, Cook County's Department of Transportation and Highways, under the leadership of Superintendent Yonan, is awarding just over $8.5 million to help fund more than 30 projects throughout the county. In this year's program, in the program's 4 years, not just this year, we've awarded $31.2 million in grants for 128 projects across the county. My administration places a priority on making investments in an equitable fashion to ensure that long-neglected communities can improve their access to opportunity. More than 2/3 of the grants awarded under Invest in Cook have gone to projects in low and moderate income communities. Our $8.5 million commitment this year leveraged just under $18 million in federal, state, and local funds, and that comes to more than $26 million to advance the county's transportation infrastructure. In a few minutes, Superintendent Yonan will discuss some of our Invest in Cook projects in detail, but first I would like to introduce Commissioner Gainer to say a few words. You want to say a few words?
Sure. Good. Thank you, Madam President, for your leadership. Thank you to John Yonan, who is known and really, I will say, loved by everybody in the administration. He comes to each one of our commissioners in our district with money that are real dollars that we can implement infrastructure changes for. So I'm really proud to be here today to support this initiative, to support Madam President and the Superintendent Yonan and all the great work that's being done. I think we frequently forget about the roads and the bridges and all of this work that needs to be done because maybe we're not looking at it or paying as much attention to it as we should. But it's necessary work, and so we're really happy to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Brandon Johnson, Cook County Commissioner of the 1st District. And again, as my colleague Commissioner Gainer has indicated, we really appreciate the leadership of President Preckwinkle and her foresight, particularly making sure that we are addressing not just the challenges that we have in Cook County, but doing it in an equitable way. Superintendent Yonan, probably the nicest person you'll ever meet in life. He is a bearer of good news, but I also appreciate the fact that he has actually vision and tenacity to actually carry that vision out. And so we're really looking forward to all of the work that is going to take place over the course of the next several years to make sure that infrastructure reflects the values that we have in Cook County. So thank you again. And now I would like to bring my colleague, Commissioner Donna Miller.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Johnson, and thank you, Madam President, for putting this together. And welcome to everyone who's here today. I'm Cook County Commissioner Donna Miller, the 6th District. And, you know, talking today about the Invest in Cook program is so important. We had last week, as Madam President put together the 2nd annual Racial Equity Week, which we had a roundtable on transportation equity and talked about the importance of having access to transit and investing in transportation infrastructure, which is especially important in the south suburbs, as it has some of the longest commute times in the county, whether it be for employment or healthcare or even grocery shopping. The Invest in Cook program is consistent with the county's policy roadmap, and one of the key components of the roadmap is creating equity, including equity in transportation, which not only benefits the 6th District and all of Cook County, but the state of Illinois. Infrastructure investment is also key when it comes to economic development and attracting businesses to the area, as well as ensuring economic development projects impact employees who live there. In order to ensure that Cook County remains strong and vibrant transportation hub for the region and the entire nation, it's our duty to find creative ways to enhance our transportation infrastructure. And the Invest in Cook has succeeded in creating collaborative projects between municipalities and transportation entities, resulting in stronger and more livable communities benefiting both businesses and residents. So I'm so grateful for the work that Superintendent Yonan has done in supporting transportation infrastructure in my district. This year, 6th District has 7 winning projects that were awarded funds for the multimodal transportation projects, including transit, bicycle, pedestrian, feasibility studies, and roadway improvements, which are so needed. So again, Madam President, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak here today and talk about all the good work the county is doing and the great work that the Superintendent, John Yonan, and Highways Transportation has done. A great job at administering this program. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Madam President, for your vision, first and foremost, and the opportunity to showcase some of the work carried out by the Transportation and Highway Department. And thank you for the Board of Commissioners who have been instrumental in supporting our efforts to enhance the transportation infrastructure of Cook County. Thank you for your vote yesterday at yesterday's board meeting, and have made today, possible because of your leadership. As you mentioned, Cook County has supported a diverse portfolio of projects that span transit, bicycle, pedestrian, and freight, in addition to the road and bridge projects that have been the focus of our work for over the last 100 years. In many cases, Cook County has enabled projects that have been on the drawing board for more than a decade to now finally get underway thanks to our Invest in Cook funding. This year, Invest in Cook will fund 1 transit project, 15 bicycle and pedestrian projects, 6 freight, and 8 roadway projects. I'd like to highlight a few of the 20 and 20 recipients today. We recognize that our department's role has evolved to include all forms of transportation, and that the quality of life for our residents, as well as their ability to safely arrive at their destination, are absolutely critical. That's why half of this year's grants were awarded to bike and pedestrian projects. One such project in the preliminary engineering phase for a bicycle and pedestrian bridge over Northwest Highway and the UP Railroad connecting Mellis Park and Meadows Park in the village of Mount Prospect. This bridge will provide safe access to schools, recreation, shopping, and public transit facilities. We also believe that robust public transit is essential to our community's vibrancy. One of this year's grantees is Metra. They will use their Invest in Cook funding award to rehabilitate the 115th Street Morgan Park Station along the Rock Island. Metra will replace a temporary shelter that was erected after the original depot burned down in May of 2017. Nearly 20,000 people live within a mile of that station, and approximately 4,500 jobs are located within a mile of that station. Often, our road projects have a cascading effect on the surrounding community. One such project is the Euclid Avenue Roadway Improvement Project in Chicago Heights. This roadway is a local road that serves as a collector road to a state route and also serves two steel companies located on Euclid Avenue. The only egress and ingress to these companies, which together average 100 or more trucks a day, is located in this project area. This road has severely deteriorated pavement, inadequate storm water control, and a lack of sufficient pedestrian and cyclist facilities to access the adjacent forest preserves. This existing condition presents a hazard to all users, making this project one of our top priorities. The grant will fund the improvement to the existing sidewalk pavement, introduction of curb and gutter where none exist today, and widening the roadway from 22 feet to 24 feet for the width of the trucks that use it. Dangerous potholes, large areas of cracking and rutting, uneven surfaces, low spots that will hold water and deteriorate the pavement further, and tripping hazards will all be addressed with the proposed improvements. When choosing projects, we look to see where our funds could have the maximum impact for our residents, quality of life, and for economic development opportunities. Here to tell us more about how Invest in Cook is impacting their communities is officials from the village of Morton Grove. I'd like to introduce Bill Greer, trustee from Morton Grove. Bill?
Thank you very much, John. And thank you all, you commissioners and President Preckwinkle, very much. First, I am Bill Greer, Village of Morton Grove trustee. Our project is called Oakton Street and Caldwell Avenue Sidewalk Connectivity Extension Program. The project will connect communities, enhance safety, and promote walking and bicycle transportation in Morton Grove, Skokie, and Niles. Currently, a 1 1/2 mile segment of Oakton Street lacks a continuous pedestrian route from Caldwell Avenue to Grosse Pointe Road. We feel that this project enhances the transportation and safety needs of pedestrians traveling alongside this busy corridor that connects all three of our villages. Cook County elected officials and staff have been committed and valuable partners in support of our multi-jurisdictional efforts. By providing the funds through the 2018 Invest in Cook project, the initial engineering plans were developed. We are again thankful to the Cook County team for recognizing the ongoing value of this project by awarding us over $267,000 from the 2020 Invest in Cook project. We are gratified to know that the Cook County Department of Transportation and Highways agrees that our project also aligns with the Connecting Cook County Long-Range Plan. A 100-foot segment of shared use path crosses the Metro tracks and requires railroad upgrades costing $1.4 million. Currently, there are no accommodations or safety enhancements for pedestrians to cross the tracks at Lehigh Avenue. Cook County's funding will fulfill the significant gap of our project funding and ensure the incorporation of the necessary safety and related infrastructure. The public should be aware that this project meets the county's goals to support local governments in their efforts to build and maintain comprehensive transportation network while enhancing the safety and offering the alternative means of overall safety of the residents, the students, the business owners, and the visitors of Morton Grove, Niles, and Skokie. So on behalf of our mayor, Mayor Dan DeMaria, myself, the Morton Grove Village Board, and the residences and businesses that we represent, Thank you again, President Preckwinkle, Commissioner Sufferton, County Board of Commissioners, and county staff for selecting this project for your Invest in Cook program. The villages of Morton Grove, Skokie, and Niles consider you as valuable partners in making this vision a reality, and thank you so much for allowing us to be part of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Greer, for being here. The Illinois Port District, as Madam President said, is a critical North American access point for freight, making it very crucial for business for not only this region, the state, and all around the Midwest. Here to discuss this year's Invest in Cook grant for the port is Clayton Harris, the Executive Director of the Illinois Port District. Clayton?
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Superintendent Yonan, President Preckwinkle, and my step-in surrogate at the University of Chicago. First and foremost, thank you all, and I absolutely want to thank Commissioner Stanley Moore as well for your support. We are the beneficiaries at the Illinois International Port District. I'm Clayton Harris, the Executive Director of an Invest in Cook grant. And this Invest in Cook grant, much like a previous speaker, is going to be transformative for what it will allow the Port District to do. The Port District is a creation of the General Assembly from the 1950s, and our mission is to be an economic stimulus. What this project will do, what the Invest in Cook will allow, is this project to benefit the port's resources and industry criteria of our ERIC initiative. It is anticipated that the proposed eventual expansion would double the current capacity to include 20 rail lines and 600 rail cars. So our Invest in Cook application was for expansion of our rail yard. The IIPD is eager to pursue all rail expansion and anticipates that it would bring community benefits, including allowing additional goods to be moved by rail and replacing some of the truck traffic off of the roadways. This analysis is part of the feasibility study. The project will also generate additional economic activity in the community and surrounding area. In addition, this project is part of the port's coordinated economic development strategy to bring the port's freight facilities up to a state of good repair and expand the infrastructure to support movements of more goods. Companies depend on the Lake Calumet rail yard. Expanding the rail yard would allow Chicago South Shore and South Bend to move more cars through the port. In addition to attracting other Class 3 railroads and existing port tenants, they would be able to use the space to expand rail capacity. The port is committed to maintaining a world-class facility at the Port of Chicago, and Lake Calumet industrial area will be significantly improved through the increased rail capacity that this project would envision. The port, the Illinois International Port District, is one of the only facilities that services 6 of the 7 Class 1 railroads. So this is transformative, not only for the port district, the county, the city, and the state, but also North America. So we're very, very appreciative, Madam President, for your insight. I could go on and gush more and more about what you've done for us, but really appreciate your vision and you allowing us to grow, and this what this will do. Thank you. Thank you all.
All right. Again, I thank everyone for joining us. Grateful. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I don't think the reporters on the line have any questions, but I do have one for John just about the Morgan Park Metro. Can you talk a little bit more about that and when that construction is set to begin?
So the 2020 Invest in Cook funding the Metro Station 115th on the Rock Island is a project that the commitment that Metra has made to look at all the stations along the Rock Island to try to bring them up to ADA accessibility. This particular station was on their books to try to advocate for some funding from the state of Illinois. Last year's capital bill did earmark some specific dollars that by us seeding it for Invest in Cook dollars. They are looking to complete their design in 2020 and some parts of early 2021, and could have plans and the last of the construction dollars available to start construction as early as 2022. Again, it's a station that, after having experienced some of the damage from the fire, is along that rock island that has challenges when it comes to ADA accessibility. And we felt, again, this is a great project in an area, as I mentioned, that is highly trafficked with businesses and residents in that area.